All right, cool. Nice and big. Right over there. Lines are open. Sup, TK? We're gonna get the phone lines in here. All right. Hey, what's up, Jazz? What's up, sir? All right, I got the line going. We got. Let me get right. New stream. All right. All right, we're testing we're MAGA Doom. MAGA Doom should be in there. See if MAGA Doom comes up. All right. I'm in Discord too. You guys want to pop in Discord? I'm in Move to Japan. I'm in Move to Japan channel. So anyone should you label what? I'm excited to see where this one goes tonight. We'll see where it goes. In the last stream, Peter, though, God bless Trump. Are you just dumb? All right, hold on. Let me see here. We have a call in. Call in. Call in numbers are live 202-656-612. DC number. Call in, talk about the DC protest, call about why you think having national martial law in America is something. Thanks for the like. Thanks for the follows. Hey, we're growing. We're nearly at 10,000. We're a brand new channel, new kind of channel. This is kind of like a fun channel. It's all comedy, but serious comedy. We like to troll the trolls being MAGA. We don't really give you a voice in here, but you can call in if you want. If you're upset because you get smacked down in here, don't cry. All right. So yeah, on there. So you can see no audio. Why is there no audio? No audio. Let me fucking. All right, welcome to MAGA Doom 0102 0102. That is my bots. You'll see the bots in here. They're online. Wackadoo, wackadoodling, wackadadoodle. Right? We don't like those that violate the Constitution. No, we don't. We don't like them at all. All right, not at all. So let's get off this damn right on this here. Right on there. So we're live, 202. What do you think? The Nazis are MAGA Nazis? You want to debate that? Anything you want to debate? Give me a call. Don't be racist. We don't like women haters. No, we don't like women haters at all either. Okay, on that. So we're live here. The Ultimate MAGA Smackdown. What do you think? Feel free to give us a call. Right? Jump in there. We're also live on Discord. Come on in. You know, tell me what you think. I think you're a fucking Nazi. Right? I think you're a fucking Nazi. Feel free to give me a call and, tell me what you think. I think you're a Nazi. Why do I think you're a Nazi? We got someone in here. Who do we have in here? Welcome. Someone just popped in. Hear that bell? Who is that? Let me check real quick. We got Ultra. Ultra, why am I not hearing you? We turn you up. Speak again. Ultrafly.
Don't know.
Yeah. I can hear. Ultrafly's in the house. Yeah. Loud and clear.
Hello.
Yep, I can hear you. Oh, wait.
Oh, hey. Hi.
Wait, maybe what I need to do is I need to hold on. I don't have my headset on, so I'm gonna mute me on the stream so you can hear me in Discord. Okay. All right, now you can hear me in Discord. You should be able to hear me in Discord. Why is it not working? Check. Yeah, now you can hear me. Mute me on the stream, Fly, so you can hear me in Discord. All right, so we got in here. All right. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, this shit is fascism, guys. Putting troops in the capital city. I mean, how's that going to? We got JS in the house. Welcome, JS.
What's up, JS?
All right, so you guys, if you're on Discord, you want to mute me in the stream.
JS.
Now, he's probably on there. Hold on. He's not. He's muted. He's auto muted himself. So on there. So yeah, we've got. Let's listen to some. Some of the smart. This is like some smart.
Policy and specific that you like. Well, you want me to just name a policy? There's no such thing as a
MAGA is so dumb. There's no such thing as a policy. How can people be so goddamn fucking dumb? There is no policy. You're right. Trump doesn't have any policy. He's a fascist. His policy is simply to, wreck America. Really, that's it. That's the policy. Are you there?
Welcome back.
Yeah, now I got it.
There he is.
We're here. You should have me. So if you're on Discord, you should have me muted on the stream or turn the volume down, and we should listen to you on that. And we've got and we have we got the whack a MAGA system running in there. So feel free to whack people. Just do seconds. I want everyone to do 10-second whacks on everybody, even if they're blue. Just testing the system. Just give everyone a 10-second love. Give them a spank, a little 10-second spanking. Just want to see what happens. All right, on there. I don't know why. All right, I'm not sure why. Control copy. Why didn't the agent respond to this? Why didn't the agents respond to this? All right, so there you go. Is it on the right stream? So feel free if you want to give me a call. We're sitting here right here, just chilling out. We're just checking the system. We're the MAGA Live helpline. We're here but see, they're all pussies. MAGA are pussies. You know that? This is not what if I can call in. If I can cook pussy. All right, there you go. Let's see, it's gonna work now. Now I start whacking.
They certainly seem to be pretty thin-skinned.
Oh, they're like girls. They're like little girly girls. Look at
I got a
Medicure.
good number for those fiscal conservatives out there. You know, it costs on average of $44,000 to keep somebody in prison. It's more like $60,000 if it's alligator alley type thing. Guess how much it is to, on average, to give them affordable housing? $12,000.
Yeah.
So they're not only being cruel,
Yeah.
they are making you pay 3 to 4 times more of your tax money for that cruelty.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. It's like, well, it's because they're Nazis. MAGA are fucking Nazis, right? They're just cruel.
Yeah.
They don't want to solve the problem. They want to, they say want to hurt other people because they've been hurt, you know? No.
It's definitely past feeling sorry for them.
It's sad, dude. You know, it's sad that they want to do this. They're so ignorant, and it's because they're ignorant of they're ignorant of history. They're ignorant of of America, of the Constitution. You know, they simply don't understand that they're destroying their own country. That's why I like using, like the MAGA are kind of like, it's like they're on Trump fentanyl, right? They've got a hacksaw and they're just cutting off their legs going, yeah, let me get up between those cheeks and smell that Trump fentanyl. Ooh, that juicy fentanyl. That's what they are. Let me get a taste of it. Just their faces in between his cheeks on there. Look at that. The system's working. Look, you got ranked up, JS. You got ranked up. JS ranked up. It's a warrior. I want MAGA names, though.
Wow.
We need MAGA names. All right. The names, we are beta testing a new, we need MAGA dude.
So the cult members don't believe anything is real unless it happens to them.
Yeah.
Anything negative. They don't believe anything negative is real unless it happens to them. And then you get the MAGA tears. Oh, I lost my job. Oh, my wife got deported. Oh, my vegetables are too expensive. Oh, my private information got leaked to Doge. Oh.
I know, dude. It's like I lost my farm. I lost my farm. My wife.
My farm is.
Well, except my wife got deported, but I don't know. I guess that's okay. MAGA's quick divorce. It's like they're quick divorce. Like they've got shit relationships. Yeah, my wife, she ain't American. It's a shame that the wives can't do that to the husbands. That'd be funny.
And then they say they'd still vote for him.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Like, what are some good titles? Like, MAGA Slayer, MAGA Whack. What we need some MAGA Doom titles. Think up. Hold on. Think up. Come fix
Title
this.
four.
Yeah, I don't like warrior. Ranked up to warrior. Unknown. Now unknown warrior. We need better titles, right? Like, let's create a list of epic title names inspired by classic FTS shooters. Yeah, like Doom, Quake, Duke Nukem. On there, got to get some titles. Grunt, yeah. How about Grunt Slayer? Grunt Whacker.
Killer.
What? Yeah, elite.
Kafechi Killer.
Yeah, how about
Alt Wrong Avenger.
Snowflake Melter or Maker, one of the two.
Red Hat Exterminator. MAGA Buster.
Cult Slayer.
Grift Reaper.
it's thinking it up. So it's doing a combination of the on there. Make sure we're getting. Let's see, everyone called in. All right, phone lines are open. If you are a MAGA piece of shit, you want to call in, give me your mind. You're more than welcome to. Right? Why is Trump so great? You like America being a fascist state, right? Even did you listen to Bill Murr? Was it Bill Murr that did the whole thing that he's like, oh shit? Did you guys hear that? Let's listen to Bill Murr. It's just funny because Bill Murr has been such a fucking Trump kisser. It's not Bill Murr. Is it Bill Murr? Bill, what is it? Is it Bill? Not Bill. It's not Bill Murr. It's not Bill Murr. No, it's the other guy. It's the guy who has a knife. It's not Bill Murr. What is it? Another Bill. Maybe it's not a Bill. Who is the guy that actually was on oh, what's his name? Let me go home. What's his name? Just did a show on it. View your channel. Kalinsky just Kyle just talked about him. It's not Bill Murr. It's Bill something. You see it, find it. It's
The bald-headed Bill Burr.
it's not the comedian. It's who the hell was it? It's reading his thing. Bill Mader. This guy here. Bill Mayer. I don't even say Mayer.
Is he the MAGA comedian guy?
Yeah, he's the guy who he's kisses Israel fucking ass, right? Let me see what his latest show is. He talked about the coup, Bill Murr and the coup, right?
Well, let's go ahead and move on to Bill Maher, and then we can talk more about this. But in any case, he had a take on his show over the weekend, which, in my opinion, is interesting for a variety of reasons. Let's go ahead and take a look.
This is Kyle's wife.
I don't know if I was the first one to use the phrase slow-moving coup. I know I was using it before he was. Thank you. I know I was using it before he was president the first time. So maybe somebody got to it first. I don't know. And people were laughing at it. I mean, whenever I said he was never going to concede power, they would say, "Oh, you smoke too much pot." Well, turned on I smoke just the right amount of pot. He does this magic trick, you know, he's passing out
a
pizza,
slow-moving
it's all
coup.
about big balls, and we're all laughing at what's going on in DC. Yeah, he's passing out pizza to the troops. If there was a slow-moving coup, let me just describe some of the steps, and you tell
Listen
me if
up.
I'm being paranoid. First, create a masked police force.
ICE, mass police force, right? I'm going to expand on it because this is serious. He has $170 billion to spend on fucking ICE. $170 billion. China, to put in perspective, only has $30 billion that they spend for their national, police state. So Trump is doing more than 5 times the amount of money, right, that China, that has to control 3 billion people, that Trump is doing. They're just throwing money at it. They're building a national police state, right? Number 2, right? That should concern you. He doesn't mention that because that group will pivot. That group will pivot and do what the fuck it wants to do, right? Pivot, take away your guns, be used to go after his enemies, which are the Democrats. Shut down elections. I mean, he's building a national police force, people. I mean, the irony is that the Republicans are against this whole national police force that they used to be, but here they are now complicit. Oh, yeah, we need a fucking Gestapo Nazi police force to control our lives. We need a Gestapo Nazi police force, right, to take away our guns, to take away other fellow Americans. Right? Everything that's happening right now is what happened in Nazi Germany in 1933. MAGA is the baby Nazi party. They're baby Nazis, right? Baby fucking Nazis, right? That's what you are. You're baby motherfucking Nazis. And if you want to debate it with me, feel free to call. I'll lay it out for you, right? You don't think you're fascist? Fascist is too big a word, JS. Fascist, too big a word. All they know is Nazi. You are just dumb fuck. And actually, you're worse than the Nazis. MAGA is worse than the Nazis, right? Because Hitler didn't have $170 billion to spend. Hitler didn't have an algorithmic sentient machine to push his lies and propaganda. Hitler didn't have a nuclear arsenal, didn't have access to Palantir and all the other stuff to lock down Americas. Hitler didn't have any of that shit, dude. And look what he became. And that's what's happening now again. So if you love America like I do, right? If you are American like I am, this is what I live in Japan, right? This is what it sounds like to be an American. Look at it. And you can see we got MAGA Doom. You can see the point system, right? We're giving away Bitcoin. We're giving away crazy shit on this channel. People are competing to get billions of dollars. I'm giving away billions, right? It's going to be crazy, right? This is crazy channel, right? Making billions of dollars, whacking MAGA motherfuckers, dude. That's what it's all about, right? Making money, whacking Nazis, right? Whacking Nazis. All right. I hope you're enjoying. Look at the bot going. Look at the bot going. Anyway, this is the voice of America coming from you from Japan. The Nazis, MAGA Nazis, right? They're also, see, that's all. Thanks a lot. They're like the Nazi. They're Jeffrey loving fucking Nazi socialists, right? They're Nazi socialists. You didn't think that the Nazis were also well, the MAGA Nazis are socialists. They think corporations should pay out money to Trump to do business. That's socialism, right? That's the state coming in saying, I'm sorry, NVIDIA, you have to pay us 16% of all your sales from China. Socialism, right? I thought you guys were against that shit, dude. I actually like it. That's great. But I'd want that money to go for paying for health insurance, for paying for affordable housing, paying for Americans. Imagine 16% having all these fucking rich corporations paying money so you have free healthcare, so you have free education, university education, so you have all the things that I get here in Japan. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be fucking great? My kids, full coverage until the 18. Look at you guys. Look at you guys. All upset. Being MAGA fucking Nazis. Socialists. Nazi. I like to say Nazi commies. Right? NVIDIA giving up a 10% stake of NVIDIA to Trump. Trump's getting 10% stake of NVIDIA. That shit is fucking socialism, motherfuckers. You guys are so fucking dumb. I like it. Now, I would take that 10% stake and I would turn around and give it to the American people. See, that's what a true socialist would do, not stick it in his pocket like Trump. Trump is ripping off American corporations, making them bend the knee, making them do all this stuff, not for the American people. Fuck no, dude. He went from 2 billion to 6 billion. His net worth went in 100 fucking days, went from 2 billion to 6 fucking billion. Oh, he's rushing. He's rushing to the top. He wants to be right up there with Putin. Right? He's going to own all the great corporations, right? He's getting it all. It's insane that you motherfuckers are so fucking dumb. By the way, give us a call. 202-656-6012 if you want to debate this. If you want to discuss this. Lines are open. Lines are open. Look, you guys are oh, wait, we just got a call. Call back. If you just called, I had the thing down. Call back if you called. I see we actually got some phone calls in here. We got a phone number up. Someone just called. Let me call you. I'm going to call you back. Okay. I'm going to call you back in order. All right. Look at that. We just got a phone call. Here we go. Calling you back. Here you go. Calling you back there. All right. There you go.
Hello. Please state your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to connect you.
Hey, it's Undoubted. Move to Japan. Kyle.
They're intelligent. Much to ask for an intelligent MAGA.
We'll see the answer. They called twice.
Hey, you.
Sup?
PK here.
What's up, PK?
Got some fantastic stuff for you on the relation to the 1993 fascism and how it applies to the Trump administration. I think you'd really like to hear, and I think some people should probably hear it, actually look at it.
All right. So, okay, go ahead.
So one of the first things is the way that the communication America First is very similar to Hitler's Germany Above All.
Yep. That was, well, the whole, yeah, exactly. The whole America First comes from Germany Above All. That's Germany First, right? That's Germany Above All is Germany First, right? America First is Germany Above All. They took the name. I've already brought that out, but yeah.
Oh yeah. And then the way that Trump blames immigrants and opponents and foreign nationals for the USA's problem is the same thing that Hitler did whenever he was blaming Jews, and communists, and his political people.
Exactly the same.
Trump and Hitler both dehumanized their opponents, whether it be Jewish, whether it be immigrants, whatever it is. It's the same thing. Do this. Hey, we hate these people. Kick these people out of the country.
Absolutely.
And it's the same exact thing. And some of the wording is word for word, and the people actually review that stuff. Part of me thinks, oh man, I mean, some people out there really don't see the comparison because they're just too brainwashed to do. But people actually side by side comparison.
Exactly. I mean, you just have to go do the due diligence. You have AI now. You can say, hey, look at Hitler in 1933 or 1920, 1933. What were the points? What were the things Hitler did? Now compare it to, MAGA and what Trump did. And they match. They're like perfect matches.
And then I got this one, which is super interesting, which I don't see anyone talk about, is how Trump is so against Democratic parties and stuff, wanting them to, lose their subject legal and political stuff through the challenges that he's trying to implement. Hitler did the exact same thing, and that's the way that he was able to systematically dismantle all democratic institutions in Germany at the time, which I don't know if you've looked at the historical data. Step by step, it was so effective in Germany that the same thing's happening again today.
Well, exactly, and you have to see, bringing the troops into blue states is a part of that dismantling, right? What he's doing is he's putting the fear of, look what he's doing to John Bolton is a domino attack, right? So he's attacking John Bolton hard because he wants everyone to know, I can attack you. Doesn't matter who you are, where you are, over my own people, I'm going to attack you. Putting in troops in the cities is the same thing. It's the same thing, and we're going to see what's going to happen on our 26th election this November. How it's going to be.
Oh yeah, especially with the way that history continues to repeat itself. So
You should jump into. Why don't you jump into Discord? If you go to my poll Discord, if you got Discord, and then pop in there, and we'll continue, and I'll call this other person that called.
Sounds good. Talk to you soon.
All right. See this guy. I'm not going to answer now. I'm calling 6002. So, hey, it's Move2Japan. Undoubted Dude calling you back. Sorry I missed your call.
Yeah, Trump and MAGA are Nazis. You got that right, brother.
All right, well, cool. I was hoping we're trying to get. See, there's such cowards, dude. There's like 200 people watching. You know, there's MAGA watching.
You're a coward.
All right, there's.
I was lying.
Huh?
You're a fool.
I'm a fool.
You're making a mockery of yourself. You completely humiliated yourself.
Really? Go ahead. So tell him. Oh, that was great. That was great. He admits he's a Nazi, and then it turns out he is a Nazi, right? He thinks like the double gambit somehow is going to like get work on me, and then he hangs up. Oh my God! Who is that in chat? Who was that in chat? I wonder. Who was that?
Like the 8-year-old that calls and says, "Your refrigerator running? Well, you better go catch it." He thinks he's smart.
MAGA has the same IQ of Trump's presidency, 45 to 47. Nice one. Hey, let me promote you. All right, so we're playing. As you notice, there's a game. We're playing whack. It's called MAGA Doom. So we earn points and stuff like that, whacking out the MAGAs, right? And let me go to the channel and release everyone. You know, let's go to the channel. Listen to Bill Moore. We're listening to Bill Moore. The lines are open. If you got some testicles, which you don't, MAGA, you want to feel free to have this debate with me, discussion on and prove to me that you're not a Nazi, that MAGA are Nazis. Feel free to give me a call because you are fucking Nazis. And if you disagree, give me a call. Man up. Stop being little pussies. Right? Call this beta man. Look, I'm a beta man. You shouldn't have to be afraid of a beta man. I'm a lesbian trapped in a man's body. Okay? I'm a lesbian trapped in a man's body. I love it. God loves me and gave me a man's body for my lesbian. Right? So, God loves me more than you. God gave me what I wanted. Right? A man's body for my lesbian spirit. Okay, go ahead. Give me a call. Let's listen to Bill Mader. Mader?
Because people are used to looking at that.
I know.
Normalize snatching people off the street. Get them used to that.
Yeah.
Normalize seeing the National Guard and the military.
With Monday.com's intuitive management platform, there were times where I couldn't watch that guy because he was falling too close to the right wing, right?
Well, he's still.
Now you're waking up. Now you're taking it serious.
Yeah. He's like all this pro fucking Israel. He's like so pro Israel, right? He's his pro Israel is disgusting. He must get so much fucking money from them bitches. It's not even funny, right? And now, now he's
capital, which is basically. It's always been.
It's like the times when you see Joe Rogan waking up and we're like, dude, like you should have known all along.
Yeah, Joe Rogan now is like, there's something wrong, like, hey, you can't even speak without. Yeah, something's not feeling right. And you fucking give this asshole platform. You get all your tech bros, which are technically broken dudes. You get all the technically broken dudes, right, to vote for him. And on it. So let's listen here. Let's listen to this Bill's wake come to Jesus moment here.
And then because the crime is so bad, have other states start sending their troops, not just the National Guard there in DC, but now at least 6 other states are sending their troops, which then Trump can then federalize. So you're having many states' troops on the ground there, and now they're under federal control. So you have in the Capitol a sort of permanent police presence. So when an election dispute might come up, just hypothetically, I mean, I don't want to be a big pessimist, and I'm going to pretend for the rest of the duration that the Democrats do have a chance of winning, and they might win the next election. I just don't think they're ever going to take power.
Exactly. I've been fucking saying that. I've been saying that for fucking ever. Democrats aren't going to take power. I mean, and so here it comes down to is your question. When they rig the election, when Trump steals the election, when it's obvious, what are you going to do about it? Seriously, folks, what are you going to fucking do with it about it, right? Because if you're not getting out right now and protesting and creating such a big fucking ruckus, we need to get 20 million Americans out all the fucking time. There needs to be Black Friday needs to be fucking black. The whole fucking country needs to shut down. 70 million Americans, 100 million Americans need to not fucking do shit on Black Friday. They need to stay home. They need not shop, right? They need to protest on Black Friday. Black Friday needs to be the first fucking Black Friday ever. Not about shopping, about saying fuck to the corporations, fuck to Trump, fuck to the administration. Black Friday. It's coming up, right? I don't know what you guys think of that.
I'll be honest, I have slightly mixed feelings because small business people that suffer, I feel for them. I understand that 70% of our economy is driven by irrational spending. So crass consumerism, it doesn't hurt my feelings that much, but I do feel bad for the little business guys.
Call from
Joe.
Hi, Joe. Welcome to the air. You're calling in. Where are you from? What's your story?
Thank you for having me.
Whatst your story?
I
You
just
sound
want to get your position on a couple of things.
First, tell me a little bit about yourself. That's more important. Tell me about yourself. What's your story? Where do you live? You know, how old range are you?
I'm from South Florida. Grew up in very bad neighborhood. Parents worked hard. My dad got a degree and was able to get us out. And from there, we all managed to graduate college. And,
I'm guessing you're sounding me. You're a black dude, right? Just gonna throw it out there.
Yeah, right.
That's cool. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that's my basic life story. More to come, God willing. But I'm just trying to get your opinion or get an understanding of what your position is on Trump.
Well, as I said, I'm a former Republican, right? And for me, the election was a referendum on fascism and non-fascism. That's what the election was about. And my fears and what I've been saying for the last 8 months has manifested. I said that, for example, Trump would build concentration camps before Hitler did. He did. All right. I said that he would, militarize the police with ICE. He did that. Pretty much everything.
Okay.
So you know what fascism? You know what fascism is, right? You know when I say see the thing is, most people don't know what fascism is, so I just say Nazi. Nazis were fascists. Okay. So like for example, like you're African American descent, right? So for example, in Texas, right? In Texas, what Texas has done, they have made you a minority. Blacks in Texas get 1 vote per every 6, right? So basically white people get 6 more votes to every black person in Texas because of the new. So they gerrymandered, right? So now and Hispanics are like 1/3. So for the African Americans in Texas, they're like they're the most minority group now in Texas for representation, right? They don't have representation.
Okay. Now, when you say they get however many more votes than blacks, I mean when they go to the polls, when a white person hits who they vote for,
their vote will be counted 5 more times, juxtaposed to a black vote when they pick the candidate that they want is only going to be counted once.
Because of what they've done is they've gerrymandered the areas, and they've taken black areas that traditionally were in a, where they were all grouped together, and now they've come in and say, well, we're going to group that section here in with because we've got 15-point margin, we're going to grab this neighborhood, which is a black neighborhood, and we're going to pull it into our dominant white neighborhood, right? So that neighborhood no longer has a voice.
Okay, but I mean, philosophically or theoretically, I can see what you're saying, but you know, and I know, and I'm pretty sure your audience knows that that's untrue. That if a white person goes to the poll and they press or pick the candidate that they want, that their vote is not going to be counted 5 times. You know that, right?
I see what you're saying. That is that in 2022, of the 12,000 mail-in ballots by African Americans within the state of Texas, over 90 of those were rejected because the new ID number requirement of the Senate bill won. There was a 40% discrepancy in those numbers. This is just factual. You can look this up yourself. It's true, and it's really messed up.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but in retrospect, that's not true. Nobody is going to go to the poll and punch their candidate and their vote be counted 5 times.
No, it's not saying that at all. I'm saying that
you should, yeah.
No, what I'm saying is this: is that your representation, right? You've lost representation. It's not getting I'm not saying that the vote gets punched 5 times. I'm saying that the black communities now have been absorbed in majority white communities. So it's like you are a minority group. So in the past, you would have your areas, right, which were mapped out based on the populace. So what they've done by gerrymandering, what they're doing is they're taking those communities and adding them to areas that they're guaranteed to win, which means you have no vote, right? It's like 6 to the way that they've done it now. Maybe Jess can explain it better than me. Jess, are you here?
Yeah, I have a very simplistic way of saying this, and I mean no offense to anyone else. It's just my opinion. The evil aspect of taking away voter representation is the equivalent of dilution being the solution to pollution. It doesn't. It's crap. It's just a crap idea. Disenfranchising the voters at any level, in any spectrum, in any way, whether it's mail-in voting or reducing the number of drop-off points or reducing representation, it's all crap.
Call from.
Ooh, sorry.
To accept, press 1. To send a voice.
Hold on. I just hold on. Let me switch back. I'm going to have you. Are you still there? Oh, you're still there.
The impact is definitely racist.
Go ahead.
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
So what's your position? What's your position? You seem to me like you're kind of in favor of Trump, I'm guessing, right?
On certain positions, if you talk, well, and I don't know your audience, but if you talk to most people that come from impoverished neighborhoods or neighborhoods that are not safe and they themselves are trying to do things the legal way, they're not hitting a lick or they're not doing B&Es and stuff like that. And they have families and they're working and, trying to put their family through school and stuff. Most of them, I would say, I could even say more than half, if you speak to them, most of them are in favor of Trump.
Well, I mean, that I would agree with you before the election, but look what he's done. He's gutted the Department of Education. 17 million of them, right, are all getting rolled off of all the different Medicaid and all the different plans. Jess can probably speak to this better than I can, are all being rolled off. So all the things that he promised he was going to lower the prices on day one. Prices are keep going up. The tariffs aren't helping them. There's a 40% increase in vegetable and fruit costs, wholesale costs, as of July. So I mean, that was the song and dance that they were manipulated because of the talk shows and everything else. And I also I would bet you the Hispanic community has completely reversed their position on Trump, because every single Hispanic community knows horror stories of someone they know that has been picked up, arrested, harassed, whatever, and they talk. I mean, the Hispanic community, they're a community. So I guarantee
U.S. citizens.
they right. You agree that those individuals aren't going to be very favorable for Trump, given the draconian the methods that he's applying with ICE.
Okay, well, I'll address your first point. When it comes to inflation and prices, inflation last year, this time was, I believe, around 2.89 or 290, and today, I believe it's 260 something, close to maybe a little over 270. So that's the first thing. So it has lowered, in the sense of gas prices. I don't know. I'm in Florida, so I don't know where you are, but gas prices here in Florida are lower. We're at like 271 right now for gas prices, compared to around this time last year, which you were talking almost close to $4. So there are some good strides that he is making, that you can see clearly. My main thing, because I am a youth mentor and I deal primarily, in the Black, community. You cannot establish a so-called economical plan without first establishing, safety boundaries within that community. Like, you can establish lower prices and everything, but if you can't make these neighborhoods safe for them to bring the groceries or whatever it is that they, buy back to the places that they live, it would, be pointless. So I think what he's doing in cleaning up the community, I think he's running a mock draft with, what he's doing in DC. We're using, like, the National Guard to, clean up the streets and stuff. Is it working? The numbers would suggest that, it's doing some good, but I think you have the drastic times calls for drastic measures. I think something has to be done in the communities. I'm talking about my community, to thwart crime. Something has to be done. That the killing and rampages is, going, is going crazy. And if you are somebody that truly cares about the Black community and, just everyone on a national level, I think.
So I'm going to call you on your numbers real quick, because I just looked it up. So the 2024 I just looked it up. The 2024 average annual inflation rate, the headline CPI inflation was 2.9. It's currently 2.7 to 2.8, right, as of July 2025. And the core CPI, including food and energy, that last year was in 2024 was 3.2, right, percent December, and it's currently now it's 3.1 to 3.5. So but the thing is, the tariffs, you agree, the tariffs haven't hit, right? They're hitting now. I mean, the fact that we have not seen, the wholesale fruit increase in value to like nearly 40% or 40, whatever it is, percent, 39% to 40% is unheard of. That hasn't happened since 1940, since after the war.
Okay. Well, when it comes to the tariffs, I want to, because I don't want to bounce around too much. At least I'm happy that we can agree that inflation has come down, at least compared to last year. So at least there's some type of change. It's not like as if nothing is changing.
It's slight. I'm more concerned with the troops, right? With fascists, right? Troops in cities. Yeah. It's a soft. You don't see this as a soft civil war?
When you I don't. I think that, like I said before, drastic times calls for drastic measures.
So what was drastic? But
I
what's
have something fantastic to add to this. Is historically in Nazi Germany, people were willing to give up their freedom for the security of their own military, and they were willing to give away their privacy for the convenience of what the state would offer to them. Seems somewhat familiar, in my opinion.
Very. But I mean,
okay, because I don't want to, divulge into historical inaccuracies, because how I view Nazi Germany and World War II is not how I view America today.
well, you have to look at 1933. So you're right. You can't think of Nazi Germany 1941 where they've killed 6 million Jews now, or started killing them. Then you have to look at the foundation, right, of Nazi Germany, and look at the same tactics being applied, and you'll notice there's a very strong parallel. The other thing that I mean, you seem like you care about the community. I mean, the big bullshit bill, right, is going to significantly impact communities. You don't agree with that? You don't see the harm giving away all this money to billionaires and their tax cuts and still having a deficit, and then turning around and cutting away all these programs, from Medicaid and from the communities that you serve?
Well, like I said, I do. I'm heavily involved in the community. You have different sides that would agree with it, and different sides that would, disagree with it. Like I do. I know mothers who are very upset that he cut the cost going towards food stamps and stuff, and it's very, very hard and tough on them. And then on the other side, you have, people from, my community who agree with it. And they said, well, if you are someone who is, well-bodied, capable of working, you should be able to, afford, your groceries for yourself or for your family. He's trying to make it a point to where it's for the very needy.
Well, that's the thing is that's what he's claiming, but in fact, what's going to happen is he's basically creating a paperwork nightmare for you to prove it, and people will just not go through with that, with that paperwork, right, on there. So
do you think, I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Do you think it's adding incentive to go out there and to maybe try to strive to get a better job, or strive to make more? There's plenty
because there's plenty of research to show otherwise. This has already been, there's plenty of data to show that these kind of policies don't work. I mean, for example, when you're spending $60,000 a day to hold someone in prison, it only takes $12,000 a day to build them a home, so you could, like, all this money, there's all this waste for money, which is being used to build these camps, to man these camps, to move these people, versus, and then basically picking up the homeless, which are in DC, and just putting them out of sight. I mean, what are they doing with the homeless? What happened to all the homeless? They just said, get the fuck out of here. Okay. They didn't have any plan.
So
right?
I'm going to pose a question to you, please excuse me if my dates are wrong, because I've been out of college for a very long time, but I believe the food stamp government supplemental program was established in 1939. Black Wall Street was in the early 1900s. Black people were doing predominantly much better during the 1900s than when they actually established food stamps, which was, well over 30 years later. So if you want to talk about statistics, you have to compare and say, okay, well, why were Black people doing so much better back then when they didn't have the resources, nor were they granted the rights for those so-called governmental programs in those days, but yet they were so much further ahead than where we were and where we are now? That's a question that you have to grapple with.
Yeah, so, and let me go ahead. Tell me what you think.
Okay, so in my estimate and opinion, I do believe in work-based incentives, to where you have to create and establish jobs in a strong workforce for people to actually go out there and work. This is my sentiment when it comes to the illegal immigration. Americans, at least in in my community, they will not work for these low wages. I believe most Americans will go out there. If you pay them between $20 and $25, I believe the agricultural state in America will not be run by so-called illegal immigrants, and that Americans will go out there and do it. But you have to pay Americans. You cannot pay them slave wages and expect them to go work the amount of hours. And I think illegal immigrants, most of them, they work very, very hard. But I think Americans would work just as hard if they were paid. We have been, babied into these so-called high wages to where we won't. We will not work for slave wages. We won't, especially when it comes to hard manual labor. We have to pay it. If the government can create a living wage that Americans can go work these jobs that the illegal immigrants were working, I believe, in my opinion, that Americans will work these jobs if they get paid the proper way.
I 100% agree with you, but here's the issue. Are you willing to pay $30 for a watermelon? Are you willing to pay like I do in Japan? We pay $5 for a peach. Are you willing to? Are you willing?
The Jews in Germany back in World War II, almost word for word. I can pull up the quotes if you want.
Yeah, I mean the question is that's a nice argument, but I'll tell you what's coming down. All right, jobs for Americans isn't going to come, and here's why: because you have companies like Elon Musk building. They build Teslas without pretty much any employees, right? These car factories are building, CPUs now are built without any employees. It's all automated. If you can automate the production of CPUs, you can automate the production of cars. You can automate the whole production of agriculture. That's coming next. Because
including the automation of AI run lawnmowers, the world is becoming a scary place very quickly.
Yeah, well, everything is going to be automated, so there isn't going to be jobs for the individuals, and corporations definitely aren't going to pay they're not going to be forced to pay anymore. They'll just instead invest the money into autonomous systems to do it for them, and maybe this will speed that up because we are, over the next couple months, you're going to see a stark increase in the cost of products. It's already happening. And as now these wholesalers are having to buy fruit at 40%, they're going to pass that cost off over. You've got a lot of beef and stuff comes from Brazil. They've got a 50% tariff on them because he's trying to use that tariff as a way to get out his buddy from jail, right? I don't know if you know that, right? So he's weaponizing tariffs. He is bringing in, what he's creating is not America. There are issues. I don't disagree with you. But when you have troops showing up, when you have education being cut, universities being attacked, law firms being attacked, being threatened, that shit ain't American. When you're imposing that Intel give Trump 10% of the company, right? That's ridiculous. That's what's happening. He's doing the same thing with NVIDIA. Now, as a person who I lean more socialist, if that was a 16% to NVIDIA to help out the people in your community or around America, I'd be all for that. If that was 10% of NVIDIA in order to then establish a fund to help the needed, I'd be all for that. But that's not what's happening. Trump has gone from 2 billion to 6 billion in 100 days. You've got to agree that shit's crazy.
I'm no economist. What I do know is that the GDP per capita, no one comes close. We are the number one.
You didn't answer my question. Trump going from 2 billion to 6 billion in 100 days, that's kind of insane. That's, having over 30 billionaires in the administration, that's insane. He's not representing you. He's not representing the community, right? Just look at the
whole thing is, you keep using this word representation. I do not need anyone I represent myself. I am the sole proprietor of my life. I do not need anybody to represent me. What I do need is someone who is fair in the office that can actually work the economy and, in everyone's favor. just not mine, but in everyone's favor, to where everyone can have a chance at the American dream. Is he doing that? He hasn't been in office. This is his first year. So I'm still waiting to see how things turn out. You can't, make change in the short amount of time that he's been given. Has he done some good? Yeah. Has he done some, things that I would consider to be inaccurate? Yeah. I mean, it's just, that's the office of the president, but we have to get off this hiatus of morality to where everybody thinks they hold the moral high ground and they demonize the left. We are all on the same moral plane.
The thing is, Trump isn't though. Trump isn't though. The thing is, yeah, but the thing is, Trump isn't. When Trump turns around and weaponizes the DOJ, when he turns around and he makes it his extension of his legal services, when he turns around and he takes away all the institutions, I mean, and just deletes them, even though that's illegal because they were established by Congress, but he just went ahead and did it. That shit is not taking anyone's interest to heart. That's attacking other people's interests. That's undoing the whole system that our Constitution is built on. I mean, what's your opinion on this due process? What's your thought? So it's okay to take away due process for individuals,
including U.S. citizens?
No, are you saying he's changing the Constitution? He's taking away due process?
Yeah, right now, right now, basically, he is, he is racial profiling, ISIS racial profiling, just grabbing people off the street with no warrant, not giving them access to attorneys, just throwing them in jail, and then deporting them, putting them on high speed. They've got their own internal, like their own, like Putin judges that will, you don't get it. They're running them through their own little, and individuals aren't getting access to attorneys. They're not getting access to due process. They're not getting their audit. And it's happening to Americans too.
Because it's happening for U.S. citizens as well. Imagine going out and deciding you want to walk your dog, go to the beach, and you don't have your ID on you because you're going to go swimming. The next thing you know, you're being picked up, put away. You don't get a phone call 2 days later, you're being shipped out to a different country. It happens to U.S. citizens too, and I have proof of that, and I know people that were deported with me that have proof of that. They're not doing due process. They don't even give you a phone call, and then to get to a U.S. embassy to do anything, it just kind of makes it to the point where while this administration is in, I don't want to come back, and I know a lot of people that have been deported that don't want to go back either.
No, okay. Even if we were to grant a few positives,
I would actually list. When it comes to due process of the judicial system, the prison industrial complex, I believe it's unfair that what you're discussing is politics. How that translates?
It's not politics. No. It's Constitution, dude. It's not politics at all. The Constitution says everyone has a right to due process. The Fourth, the Fifth Amendment.
But let me hold on.
I should have had the right to identify myself, for them to take me seriously and actually hear what I had to say. Tell them social security number, tell them anything to prove who I was, but I didn't even get that chance. I was put in the same room, barbed wire with the tent around it. There's plenty of people that can vouch for the same stuff.
Okay, I understand it, but I'm saying more so projected to regular society. I think it's unfair that if one bullet or a gun goes off inside of a college facility, is counted as a mass shooting, or it's called an active shooter. They're looking for an active shooter. Somebody shoots somebody, it's an active shooter. How come that same relevance is not applied to the Black communities? Guns go off all the time. You don't hear them saying they're searching for an active shooter. Why? Because once you claim something to be an active shooter, governmental resources are put into actively finding that person. I have never heard a shooter, whether they're doing a drive-by, killing, shooting up a playground, shooting indiscriminately into somebody's home. I have never heard the term active shooter used in the Black community. So I think if you're talking about politics, due process, and everything, I don't believe in the Black community we are allowed that respect and that same resourceful energy when it comes to people trying to find, someone who's shot and killed a 4-year-old girl on a playground because they were trying to get at her uncle or her brother.
No, I hear you on that. I mean, the whole shooting thing is horrific. You know, on that. My point is that right now there are 11 million, right, Hispanics that are living in abject fear. They're afraid to go out. They're afraid to go do stuff, and that's to me completely un-American. That's completely wrong. I mean, we shouldn't have a group, and whether it was the blacks, you know, during Jim Crow era, whether it's the Hispanics now, and that's the same stuff. Again, I'm going to go back to Nazi Germany. In Germany, they had 500,000 Jews. There's 11 million in America, and they're living in abject fear, and that's wrong. And that's what Trump is doing, and that's evil. And what he's doing to that community is evil.
What do you think? What do you think he should do?
Undocumented immigrants are paid nearly $97 billion in federal, state, and local taxes.
Yeah, they pay a lot. No, what the thing is that so for you think I'm in Japan, by the way, right? I'm in Japan. So for example, if I come here on holiday, I meet a Japanese woman, I fall in love with her, I get married with her the next day, I take my paperwork in, her paperwork in. I have a Japanese spouse visa within 2 months. Why can't recently the woman married 25 years from Hong Kong. And this was, I can't remember, Indiana or somewhere, had a sushi restaurant, been running successful. She was picked up by ICE, right? Because it's a pain, because our systems are broken. I come to Japan on a holiday. I ride my scooter around all the English schools. I say, I'm the best damn English teacher in America. Here's my resume. One of them says, I want to hire you. Can you start tomorrow? I say, sure. I start tomorrow. They'll pay me on the table, and they'll take me in and get my thing, and I'll have my work visa. Any job in Japan, I'll have my work visa within 2 months. We could fix that. We could have that. Every single undocumented, oh, you're working at a car wash? Oh, let me go take you in and get you legal. Oh, you're working at this? Let me go in and take you legal. As long as it's the moment I quit that job, I lose my visa. Doesn't that easily fucking simple? Right, as long as you keep my
and so that same thing, and I'll add on to the point what you said about the gun violence earlier, is that the reason that this administration, the Trump administration, is not doing as much for the gun violence is that the DOJ, under Trump's written signature, cut $158 million in gun violence prevention grants, specifically terminating 265 grants at a total valuation of $811 million. Now, this is with the CBI. You being for your community and stuff, you should, knowing what the CBI is, you should understand that directly written, signed by him, that this primarily impacts African American communities within the USA.
Do zero. They do nothing in the Black community. Whatever so-called sociological programs that you have established in the community, they do absolutely nothing. You don't
believe in affirmative program for a minute. So you don't believe in affirmative action. You don't believe in affirmative action. You don't believe that all of the DEIA stuff didn't help the Black community.
No. I never made that assertion.
I'm asking you because because all that's gone now, right? All that's gone. Now,
do you believe in affirmative action right now?
It's all gone. There is none. I mean, there isn't none anymore. I mean, it's all gone. There's no affirmative action. There's no DEIA. It's all gone. All that shit is gone. You understand that, right?
No affirmative action, no due process.
It's all gone now.
And this administration is selectively.
They've killed it. So when they purge DEIA, it was predominantly Black and women, right? That's who lost their jobs. Black people and women lost their jobs. The 100,000 odd people who lost their jobs, predominantly were Blacks and women. You understand that, right? It wasn't white guys. It was minorities.
Okay. Well, first with affirmative action, I'm asking, you believe we still need affirmative action today?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think a corporation should be able to hire their buddies from college. I don't think that the good old network, right, has ever gone away. It hasn't gone away. But affirmative action would stop groups like, hey, I'm going to hire Bubba from my fraternity over Joe, who has an equal and better resume. No, I'm going to go with Bubba, right, over that, because that's what we have now. Corporations no longer have to look at the merits of a resume, and they can look at the color of the skin or their preference. They don't have to do any shit. They can hire who the fuck they want, right? And that's a shame because we know the predominant leaders, the businesses are white and they're going to hire other white people. And what's going to hurt is like you want other, your community to do better. Well, in this new era, that we're back to before all of that, right? So all affirmative action, all DIA, all that shit's gone. Now, not only that, slavery was a good thing. Do you agree with that? Slavery was actually good. It was beneficial to the black people. I want to hear your thoughts on that. That's according to Trump. They're having all the slavery shit rewritten. Slavery was actually good. It helped the black people. Could you, as a black person, could you explain to me how it helped the black people? Explain it to me, because I'm curious.
Likely, I can show you the links to that if you want those sources that is being said.
No. I want to hear what he has to say, how slavery helped the black people, because I'm fucking curious, because I thought it was the most evil motherfucking shit they ever done to one person.
Have you ever read Booker T. Washington's biography, Up from Slavery?
I've watched Roots. Does that have anything to do with Roots?
Okay. No. Roots is, I believe the story is Nat Turner, but Booker T. Washington's Up from Slavery. You should read it. He gives a very interesting take as a slave when it comes to slavery and his thinking. And he was one of the first slaves. He was when the Emancipation Proclamation was finally signed. He was a small child in slavery, and he saw I'm pretty sure a lot of bad things. But his old interpretation of slavery was that slavery did help, and these are his exact words, an actual slave. One of the hallmarks of black abolitionists. He's the one that got the ball rolling, and he said himself that during slavery, blacks learned a lot of traits. And so when slavery ended, the only people that could work were blacks, because they knew plumbing, they knew carpentry and all of these other trades. And the white slave owners, they knew nothing because they didn't do anything. They looked at manual labor as being denigrating to them. So they never worked. So all of this time during slavery, the black, the black slaves were here learning all of these trades and, getting all of this knowledge, while the whites were, basically sitting on their hands. So they were more equipped for life after slavery. Well, that ties into your, the Black Wall Street, doesn't it? Because they had the skill set, right? And early on they had it, but then it was burnt down, wasn't it? June 19th or something. JS, go ahead, chime in. Hold on. JS wants to say a few things.
Well, first of all, let me say, I kind of understand some ways in which a strong man like Trump is attractive. The problem is that, well, let's say my perspective on some of these issues is that homelessness and poverty are a symptom of something bigger. Mm-hmm. So if you treat it from the bottom up, you're ignoring what's happening from the top down to cause these conditions. So I don't really like the idea of paying $35 for a McDonald's cheeseburger, because everybody gets paid $20, $60 an hour. But I do think that wages are a problem. The fact that they haven't increased, and that the top of the chain has had incrementally more financial power than the bottom of the chain. Absolutely. No question about it. But if the answer to the question is government, we got to figure out a different question, because government will screw this up big time, royally, and never in favor of the little guy, the disenfranchised, or the majority of people.
Okay. And well, I answered his question. He said, how was slavery good? And I just wanted to bring the point that.
So you thought slavery was good? I mean, I think that there is. I think if you were to weigh it on the sense of on the humanity scale, if you weigh it on the sense of education scale, right? If you put it all together, I think it would be a resounding no. Slavery was evil, right? It was harmful. Yes.
On which side? On colonialism or on the African side?
On the Africans, on the individuals. Yeah, on the individuals who were forced through it, to wear chains, the process of getting there, what they went through, you know, the human, just the human, you know, treating them as animals and not as other human beings. I think it's a resounding, it's harmful, and I think it's kind of you know, I think it's atrocious that they're trying to repaint it as, you know, as framing it that, oh yeah, because some people learned to be a plumber, it was actually good. Because some people got an education, it was good. But if you look at the majority of them, what did they didn't, I mean, it was one person becoming a plumber out of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, I don't know what I mean, plumbing is not a thing. I mean, most people were in the cotton fields, most people were, you know, picking, doing menial labor, until the cotton gin and other thing came about on it, and they were treated horrifically, you know.
No, but you have to get the time in which they started being treated horrendously. And you have to go read the Willie Lynch letters. And Willie Lynch, that's where the word derived from lynching. It came from this white slave owner in the West Indies who was practicing these atrocities on other whites before, because the slave owners in America were having trouble controlling their slaves. And so they went to him to get advice on how he controlled his slave populace. And he was practicing these atrocities like castration, lynching on whites. And then, you know, he did it to the black slaves that he owned. But that's when it really started to shift. Slaves were indentured servants. You had Anthony Johnson, who was the first slave owner after he served out his service as an indentured servant. He was then able to buy slaves, which he did. And he actually went to court. You know his history, you can read about it. He went to court to fight against a slave who tried to leave from his plantation. And he, you know, said, well, no, this is my slave. I bought him fair and square. And this is what got the ball rolling and started chattel slavery, to where, these other people said, well, free labor is good labor. And they decided to make this something permanent and said, well, no longer can a slave, have freedom, and they changed the laws and the rules and everything. But, I'm not going to agree and say, slavery was good, but you do have certain abolitionists, and if you read certain biographies of people that was in slavery. And I have to correct myself because Bruce was a Kunta Kinte. It wasn't Nat Turner, and both of their stories are amazing. But I wouldn't go as far as to say slavery was good for blacks, because it was atrocious. It was a very horrible time in history. But I will say that I think we have grown from it. I think it has, it's made the community, at least back then, it drew us close together. If you looked at our numbers coming out of slavery before Black Code and Jim Crowism, the marriage rate was up, and it was just a lot of things that were different than it is today. So you have to look at us coming out of that horrible time. What changed? How were we able to, accomplish so much with so little resource? And then you look at today, and we're sitting here trying to blame Trump, for things that he's doing now. And we were able to make it just coming out of slavery.
How much time have you spent like looking at the origin of fascist groups, like the fascist playlist, like early Nazi Germany, how Putin gained power, how Erdogan, how all these fascists, how what's another one? The Italian guy, or even looking at Stalin, right? Have you done any? You seem like an intelligent guy. Have you ever looked at any of the fundamental things, right, that they have done?
point out some historical similarities here to what Trump is doing that was done back in Germany during World War II and the start of World War II. Is one, the way that Trump has been removing Black Lives Matter Plaza Ground murals and stuff from history, including stuff from the National Museum of African American History, and just attacking all of these historical things. Trying to erase history is the same thing that Hitler did in World War II.
Black Lives Matter is not historical. If you talk about the Black Panthers and Huey Newton and Freeman, those are movements that actually established some type of political rhetoric with the government back then. The Black Panther movement actually had truth and relevance to them. And even with Brother Malcolm, I believe what he preached and what he taught was very relevant for the time. Black Lives Matter is not relevant. You can't attach that to all Black people.
Well, you can't. You don't. You think
founder of that group, and she was a known so-called.
I didn't mean it specifically as one thing for history. There, I understand what you're saying, and I thank you for putting that out there educationally. But I do want to say that erasing history for one group or any specific group towards a means is very similar to exactly what happened with fascist World War II Germany. And I just want to see what are your thoughts on those similarities?
What history? What Black history is Trump erasing?
Well, number one, he's put in orders into the museums to redo all of the to paint this whole idea that racism was good or something. I don't know the specifics, but the Smithsonian has had to remove issues. He's got issues with the current Black history, which is built by Black historians and others. It wasn't white people who put these exhibits and all this stuff in. I would imagine. I would think it would have been the Black historians. So you're okay with that?
No, I'm not okay with that. But I think people, if you really want to be historically accurate and you really care about facts getting put out there, when Ulysses Grant became president, they tore down his statue. He fought against racism once he became president. And all of the people that were on the side of the Confederacy, who the government wanted to give them lenient sentences, he said no. He went after every single person that was, when he became president, every single person that was part of the Confederacy, he fought against them, even against his own political party. And what did they do? They tore down his statue. So you have to look at it from both sides. People rarely read. Everything is microscoped through social media, and they get a small little clip bit, and that's what they use to so-called spread knowledge and to, act as if they really know when they don't.
So
we have gotten away from books.
Yeah, and we're not going back to books. Yeah, you're right. We've gotten away from books, and not in America. We're not going back to books. They don't believe in education. He's turning the entire education system into a merit education system, a paid for education system, charter schools. He's seen it just as they figured out, hey, we could turn all our prisons into profit-making institutions. They're doing the same thing with our education. So the idea of public schools and other things is going away. You're not going to have public schools. It's all going to be charter schools. You either have the money to go, and you're going to have a much diversity in population education.
Especially considering the thing that was passed back in January for ending radical indoctrination K-12 schooling. I mean, that just not only removes history, but it refuses to teach it. And I think that if that's taught, then history won't repeat itself.
Well, the issue.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to, just one point. Charter schools, you do know charter schools are public schools, correct? He's changing it into, you're saying he's changing public schools to charter. Charter schools are public schools. The only difference is you don't have to stay in the area in which, for regular public school, you have to stay in a certain area. Charter schools, you don't have to. So if you live far, you're allowed to go to that school, but charter schools are still public schools.
Yeah, but they create uneven equality, right? Because they can limit, because of the demand, they can say, no, I'm sorry, you're black, you can't come here. Sorry, we only take white students.
Nobody.
No, I'm saying they can. The thing is, there's no affirmative action, so that's the example of what they can do. There's no affirmative action now. I'm just saying there is no affirmative action. So a charter school can be all white.
When his two daughters got into a private school, you had a voucher system in which you were given a voucher. Let's say somebody from an impoverished neighborhood in Chicago was given a voucher. Hey, you're on a waiting list to get into this prestigious private school. Once Obama's daughters got into this private school, he cut off the voucher system, because he did not want his kids going with other kids who were from these impoverished neighborhoods. But the media don't talk about that. You go research it. Just go look up the school.
Well, I'm just saying now there's no affirmative. I'm just saying there's no affirmative action. So these charter schools can disintegrate.
When you keep saying affirmative action, do you know what affirmative? Because I want to be clear. You know what affirmative action is for.
Maybe I'm using the wrong word. Discrimination. They can discriminate now. Charter schools can discriminate and choose who they want to attend the school. In the past, they couldn't. Yeah, they can. They can now. Trump. They can. They can do whatever they want. There is no. They took away DEIA. They took away affirmative action. There is none now. This administration does not recognize it. Doesn't recognize it. That's all gone.
Oh, okay.
The other problem with school choice
I have kids. My kids go to charter school. That's not how the public school system works. I'm just saying that's not how the public school system works. If you want your child to go to a charter school, if it's a really good school, you get put on a waiting list. If they have the space to take your child, they take your child. It is so easy for the Census Bureau to get the statistics and numbers if a charter school was intentionally only taking certain demographics. I mean, this would be the most blown up news story in years. It would be, it is so easy for you to find those numbers. It is very, very easy for you to find those numbers. So that's what that's what
you're getting. That's where we're headed into. I mean, that's where we're headed into. They're getting the funding and everything. So we'll see if you're right or not. I think you're going to see this. I don't think it's going to matter. Trump doesn't care about non-whites. If you haven't figured that out, then he doesn't give a fuck.
You're talking to a black guy.
I know he doesn't care about you. I mean, he doesn't care. You support a person who doesn't care about. He doesn't care. He thinks as
you're a white guy. I think you're overstepping.
No, I'm not. I'm a white guy talking about another white guy. I'm a white guy telling you he doesn't care a shit about you, just like the Parkway 5 that that he still thinks murdered, right? Which they didn't. They're proven innocent, right? He still thinks they're guilty. He doesn't, just as he evicted people out of his apartments that were black. The guy is a fucking racist. His father was in the KKK. He got arrested with the KKK, right? So you are supporting a black guy, which I think is hilarious. You're supporting a fucking racist, right, who hates black people, and you're like supporting Trump. I think that is hilarious as fuck, dude. That's the comedy of this show. Welcome, folks. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for listening. Yet again, another fucking doofus worshiping Trump. Black guy of all that. You just gotta wonder. You gotta fucking wonder about that shit. Anyway, I'm done talking with this fool. A black guy worshiping Trump. That's kind of funny. I mean, he had a lot of good points, but the thing is, he's not seeing the big picture, right? On that.
If I could point out one thing he brought up about the DC, takeover, is like, when is there a line, first of all, that you need to really start being worried about that? And like, if statistics already show that the crime there was at a 30% low, but yet, not to mention the president himself, just months prior, claiming how good DC has been, but then also does that. But then what is, I believe, futurely planned is that because he's already done it to LA, he's doing it to DC next, 2 blue states. What do you think the odds are he's going to do it to another blue state?
He is going to do it. He's going to do Chicago next. He's going to do New York next. And you're going to have troops in every fucking city.
Right.
And
but the point is, like, there's red states with almost, if not more, 10 times the crime rate, 10 times the murder rate. And why aren't they being sent there first?
Because again, he's doing it. He's doing it because he wants an uprising. He wants martial law. He wants, he wants to poke the bears. It's like his way to get back, right? It's fuel for his fucking base, shitheads, and that's what it is. I mean, it's all part of the fascist playbook unfolding. And we got these, Go ahead.
This thing about the charter schools, all it does is concentrate minority students into certain schools.
Yeah.
So it just makes segregation worse. Because only the people with the money will ever get the opportunity. I mean, the voucher system was supposed to address that, but I don't know that it did an adequate job. But
they can look at the kids and just say, "I'm sorry, I'm not taking you."
Are not going to be the advantage in charter schools.
No.
Historically, the voucher system only made a 3.2% impact.
Yeah. This whole chart. I mean, he's defending charter schools. He's defending Trump. It seemed like a good guy, but
I think he had hope. I think he saw something that the rest of us saw past.
And I think he pointed out some stuff. I mean, some of the stuff he said is pretty educational, but I feel like at the same time, not being willing to look at some of the facts kind of hurt that. It's educated in one thing, but not willing to look at the rest. And we were willing to actually listen to what he said. And I think that kind of hurt.
Well, I mean, cherry pick anything to death, right? And find, slavery, for instance, when Mike brought up that it's a net evil. There's a reason why multiple experts on the subject, black and white, show that it was a bad. Like, for every one good thing that happened, there's probably 10,000 unfair, really bad things.
The whole thing is like, the whole thing, it was crazy because he rationalized the whole, like the whole Texas thing, that the black person in Texas now is a minority, where their vote, there's for every vote they have, it's like 6-1, right? They don't have a vote on their direction, everything else. So their representation is gone. I could have said it better. There was a great, someone said it really well, how the gerrymandering broke. And then, so he was like, yeah, I don't care about that. So that doesn't bother me at all. And then he used the whole examples like, well, back in the 1900s, we had the Black Wall Street and we were great then. Why can't we be great again? I mean, it's an idealist, right? And it's like, that was 1900 or whatever that fucking was. You're dealing with all this time where where marginalized groups, they're a marginalized group, they're not given the opportunity to get ahead. And now you got charter schools that are going to create that, make it worse, happening. I don't know, dude. It's just like black people. It's just amazing. Black people. And then you're dealing with a guy who's a fucking racist. That I had to end on the racist, dude. I had to end on the.
I'll also say from my experience with working with minority populations and homeless populations, Trump was able to convince a decent number of them that the reason they weren't getting help was because all the help and money was going to the migrants. That's an incredibly terrible thing to be convinced of.
Now there's a fake Cindy. Remember we had fake accounts? I released everyone, so making sure that's not one of the fake. I saw Cindy. Make sure you look at Cindy's age. When Cindy, I know I saw was pissed off better, was hidden by pissed off better. Yeah, there's that guy. So yeah, don't unhide Cindy. It pissed off Edward. Don't unhide Sydney Prim. That's a fake Sydney Prim. That's why she's hidden.
Thank you for catching that, people. Appreciate it.
Where was the
Yeah, I think I said it last time, Mike. How many dick moves does this guy have to do before people wake up and realize he's actually a dictator?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my thing that I also wanted to get at is like he sat there and tried to glorify one small good thing that's like maybe slightly better, but
Slaves fell in love. Slaves fell
Well,
in love
I
during
even-
slavery.
I even looked
that
up
doesn't
his-
mean slavery's good.
Yeah. The other thing too is I also looked up gas prices, and actually gas prices are $3. So his like $2.70. There isn't any gas that I know in Florida that's $2.75. But they're up to like $3 or $3.90 or $2.90 or whatever, $2.98. It's actually up this month. So yeah, I'm there.
Well, I just get tired of the whole like, oh, there's some good things about this. Like, no, there's not. Like,
There is nothing good. Look, pissed off is level 12. So all right, what's your thoughts on the MAGA Doom? Pissed off. What do you think of MAGA Doom? Look, Thornton got the plus 144 points from banishing, unbanishing, and banishing. Yeah, you can definitely game the system.
I think we probably scared off most of the MAGAs.
Yeah, we're down to 12. According to the live, we're down to 12. So yeah, we've done it. We've whacked another victory.
It's just terrible.
Any features that you want? Any features you want? Any features we're missing? I mean, we'll add to it too. Let's see if the leaderboard works. Is the leaderboard leader? Well, rank leaderboard. See if that works. See if there's a leaderboard.
Here's what I was trying to. I think I did a terrible job paraphrasing. But homeless people are not the problem; they're the result of the problem. And I think the same thing is true of poverty. Poverty isn't the problem; it's the result of the problem. Crime isn't the problem; it's the result of the problem.
Okay, so it's not putting the people's. It's not putting the. It's putting your IDs in here. Copy. I gotta fix that.
hey, POV, I wonder if it's JG.
Well, you can tell they kind of work together. Amber was in on the gig.
Who's Amber?
She was the one that was saying Cindy should get a wrench.
Oh, Cindy. Yeah, they're the same one. Yeah, Cindy Prim. Yeah, all you need to look at channel activity and see that they're brand new character, and they have no chat history. Like Cindy's always in all the chats. So yeah, that's all you need to do is you look at their chat history.
Can't whack a MAGA. One of the can.
It's weird. Oh, there. That was good. Oh, we had a couple call-ins. That was good.
Yeah, but it just goes to show you how much, hope can motivate you to forgive a multitude of sins. I hope he'll be good for my community. I hope he'll get jobs for my community. I hope. No. Did he do it the first time? No.
No,
Is he going to do it? Is he going to do it the second time? Highly unlikely.
more than likely not.
He's already proven who's important to him, and it's not the majority of people.
Yeah, the other thing too is like, how many black people does he have in his administration? What's the diversity of his? Is that one? I don't know, dude.
I'll point something out that's really interesting about his administration. Something that a lot of people misunderstood through a Zionist structure is that a lot of the reason that people in the U.S. politics or are Jewish by what people say is actually a thing that Israel grants them a second passport, which nullifies any crimes that they commit. And I'll point out that during the Trump administration, that the majority reason is probably because of that, because a lot of African Americans don't or aren't eligible to get that secondary citizenship. And so I think that probably is a lot of the reason, but that's not yet to be proven. And people that have been asked haven't commented on it, which only raises an eyebrow.
Let's go down.
Yeah.
I'm going.
40% of America is non-white. How many percentage of Trump's cabinet?
Yeah, I'm going downstairs.
10%. Not very much.
Not even 10%. Oh, that's probably less than. Oh my God. What's going on in DC is horrific there. It's fucking hey, dude. What's going on in DC is insane. Let's get some breakfast. My thing got crushed. My bread got crushed. I think I want some French toast. Let's see. Guess I'll make some French toast. All right, we're done. We're done with phone calls. I'm downstairs. Yeah, it's what's happening in DC is basically a fascist, right? Doing fascism. That's all. It's fucking fascism. And French toast. All right. We're gonna call the stream here. I actually need a button like who is the number one. Hold on, we need I want a button to say rank. Try to do /rank, see if it fixed. Slash leaderboard. Making French toast. French toast on that. I'll be back on later. Get some shit done. All right, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Right. Martial law, yes. It doesn't make it right. It makes it that they can do it. Martial law on it. The bot just shows up. I missed the call in. Just 5 people. I'm in the kitchen. We can't hear me because I'm downstairs. JS, look, I'm in the kitchen. I'm not upstairs. I'm not in the PC. I'm in the kitchen. Unmute me. Where's my put my pumpkin on top of my exactly. Maybe America, I hate to say this, maybe America needs like a little dose of fascism. /rank. Red Hat Ripper. Red Hat Ripper in the house. Red Hat Ripper. I'm going to be tokenizing it too. I'm going to be putting Bitcoin. Imagine getting a Bitcoin for whacking MAGAs. I wonder if that guy left. That's why I didn't get it. I'll be on later. Good job, guys. I'll be on later, probably another 3 hours, 3-4 hours. I'll come back.